Welcome to that Shady Buffalo Podcast, a podcast about unimportant things that for some reason are important to us. I am your host, David Cole, and joining me once again is my lovely co-host, Jonathan Crabtree. It's been a little bit in real time since we've been able to record together, which is so great to have you back. Even though we just had an episode come out, a week ago? This will probably come out a week from the snack bracket, so the
Yeah.
last snack bracket. But we had that instant classic episode come out. But it's been probably a month or so since we've recorded it together in real time. So it's good to have you back.
Yeah, I've been taking a little bit of a hiatus with all the wedding festivities quickly approaching. Where
Almost there.
um we are at 11. No, we're at like 10 days now.
Yeah,
As of 7 o'clock this evening, which was 19 minutes ago upon recording, we are 10 days away.
nice.
So yeah, this is going to be we're running at breakneck speed, but we're ready to go.
Let's go. We're excited. So this episode, I guess this will be coming out like the week of your wedding.
Yeah.
We are going to go back into the Survivor simulation machine with a themed Survivor simulation. And this one I'm really excited about. I know you are too. And we're gonna go with a Lord of the Rings theme, and not just like the Lord of the Rings series of books, but also just like general. These characters are not just from those three movies, three books. They're from really the franchise as a whole. And we went with the Cook Islands theme of Survivor because it was the one of I think two seasons that were the tribes were divided by race, and
What a
a great
that's
idea.
something that could never go wrong, right? Like
No,
that's
even back in like '03 or 4 or 5 or whenever it happened, it was probably like '05 or '06. Uh, even back then when it happened, it was controversial. But I mean, a big aspect of the Lord of the Rings franchise is bridging racial divides. I mean, in all seriousness, like the elven dwarven
yeah.
feud, there's a huge aspect. People looking up or down on men based off of their histories. People look favorably or unfavorably at men sometimes. So we do have four
Yeah, I
tribes
mean,
as they
if
had on that
if we're gonna
season.
be honest, the people of Middle Earth are a little
They're
racist.
a little racist and they
They're
have to
just a
work on
little
that.
racist, but like not even like color of your skin, just
No,
like if it
like,
doesn't
are
matter
you
if you can
tall?
talk.
Can you live forever? Are you short?
Oh, you can't? Okay, that's so sad.
Yeah.
But I'm
Uh,
good at digging.
real good.
Yeah.
So for this simulation, we have four tribes named after one of the early ancestors of each. Not necessarily like the first, but like a famous ancestor from each of these races. So we have the Baron tribe of men. We have Aragorn, Boromir, Bronwyn, Eowyn, and Isildur. Um, and before we get too far along, if you're listening to this on the podcast version through Spotify or Apple or whatever podcast app you use, this will be on YouTube, and so you can see what we're seeing as we go through the simulation. Should be probably a little more engaging, but we'll try as usual to kind of keep you up to date with what's happening if you're only listening to the audio. So, John, take it away with the Elvish tribe here.
So yes, the Elvish tribe or the Elrond tribe.
Hmm.
He's not in it, but it's named after him.
No,
We
that
have
was how
a
I would honor him, was by having it named after
exactly.
him.
I
Because
mean, he's OP outside of
well, that's one reason why he's not in it. But the
yeah
main
he
reason why he's not in it, to me, if I'm being totally honest, is Survivor was always 50-50 on gender. And if there's one thing about Lord of the Rings, it is not 50-50 on gender in terms of characters. And if there is
yeah.
one area of characters that you can make up for that, it would be the elves.
Well, that's what
So
happens when the story's written in the 50s. So,
I'm not mad
um,
about it. I'm just saying this is the reality of it. I'm not like here to like rage
yeah.
against it, but
Well,
it is what it is. So we have more women on the Elvish
yeah.
tribe than like the Dwarven tribe.
So in the Elrond tribe, we have Arondir, the I don't know what type like
What's his
is
title?
he's a watchman elf,
Yeah, I don't know.
a soldier boy.
Soldier, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Arwen, Galadriel, Legolas Greenleaf, and Terry.
Yeah,
Toriel.
Toriel from
Terrier.
the Hobbit.
Terry,
The
not Terrier. Why did I
not
say Terrier? What was that?
whatever. Technically, I mean, you could argue she's not even a part of the Lord of the Rings franchise because she's not in any of the written work, right? She's
Yeah,
just for the movies, but whatever.
she's an
Um,
apparition.
we'll move on to the halfling race. So we have the Sadok tribe, named after the leader of the Harfoots from the Rings of Power season one. And so we have Bilbo Baggins, of course. We have Eleanor Brandyfoot. You have Frodo Baggins. You have Poppy Proudfellow. And then finally, of course, you got to have Samwise Gamgee. So pretty well balanced tribe here. Some connections. So we'll see if the trio of Bilbo, Frodo, and Samwise can, and maybe that might be too obvious of an alliance, but we'll see.
My
John,
my
go ahead.
eyes must be really bad because I thought that was Ed Sheeran for a minute. And I really had to focus in to make sure that it wasn't Sam,
Yes.
that it was actually Sam.
Yes. Basically, they're the same person.
Yeah,
But
yeah, same
uh,
person.
all right,
Melodic
John,
tunes.
tell about the Durin tribe here.
The Durin tribe. The ones I really want to make it all the way. That being said, I'm sure they're gonna be a bit temperamental,
But
and a bit bombastic.
that makes sense.
So we have Balin from The Hobbit, Disa from Rings of Power, Durin the Fourth from Rings of Power, Gimli, our beloved elf sprinter, and Thorin Oakenshield, my dude.
Yes, this is a pretty good, um, strong tribe. We'll see if they can not murder each other, but pretty good overall tribe there. So I think we're ready to go ahead and jump into our season. So if I can find the start button, we will get started with our first events, first challenge. I don't think there's really anything happening first. So the first challenge is, of course, won by the Elvish tribe. They win first place to win immunity. Also have flint and fire making toolkit.
They're just so
Second,
fast
yeah,
and
and
light.
strong and good at everything.
Yeah.
Second is the Baron tribe, the race of men. They win immunity and flint. Third place is the Durin tribe. They win flint and immunity, which means, of course, the obvious easy target, not good at challenges team loses. So the Sadok tribe, the halflings, they finished last, and they also, because of the fact that they're going to be the last place finishers, they get to nominate somebody from the first place tribe to go to Exile Island, and they send Legolas off on his own.
If
So
there's any person that they could just put on there on Exile Island and be fine, it would be
yeah,
Legolas.
he's one of the few. Him and Aragorn would
Yeah.
probably be just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving forward with tribe events. There is an alliance between Arwen and Galadriel, which makes a ton of sense.
Mm-hmm.
It is,
That is Arwen is her granddaughter.
yeah,
So
not the strongest, but it's not bad as a start. So a good start there. Of course, Eleanor and Poppy, they form an alliance, a strength of 9. I will be shocked if that breaks up. They're both very loyal and they have a very strong alliance from the get-go. And then of course there are no alliances in the in the
that
Durin
makes
tribe.
sense. That checks out.
So we're going straight to tribal council. So first we have the Sadok tribe. So just before we get into the votes, we have Bilbo, Frodo, Sam, Eleanor, and Poppy. Eleanor and Poppy have an alliance. No one else has had an open alliance yet. So we'll see what happens in the votes. There's no advantages, nothing to stop any votes going through. So the first vote was for Sam. So we have one vote for Sam. Second vote is also for Sam. That's 2 votes for Sam. Well, let's see if this is maybe that's just Poppy and Eleanor, or it could be a bad start for Sam. Third vote, okay, is Eleanor, Nori. So that's 2 for Sam, 1 for Nori. I think it's probably going to be Nori then.
I don't
But
know.
oh,
Oh,
Bilbo gets the 4th vote. So we have 1 vote left, 2 Sam, 1 Bilbo, 1 Nori. We could have a 2-2 tie and have to revote. I wouldn't be shocked if maybe Frodo and Sam told Bilbo to vote for Nori. Then Frodo votes for Nori and Sam votes for Bilbo in case they have an idol or something. Like just have a split
splitting
vote.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the last vote. See if we have a tie or not. No, the first person voted off is
It's Sam.
Sam. Holy cow. That to me is
Blood's thicker than
shocking.
water.
Yeah, that is like you're getting out. I mean, he's not a huge threat. He's loyal. That's a staggering vote to me. I would
I
assume then that
mean,
Sam must have voted for
he
Bilbo
was
or Nori.
he was by far their actual strongest player. So that we'll see how that
That's
goes.
true. So it was Bilbo joining up with Nori and Poppy. So Frodo and Sam voted not together, but they didn't vote. Frodo did not turn on Sam. He voted for Nori. For some reason Sam voted for Bilbo, and then Bilbo voted with the two new Harfoots from the Rings of Power series. So that's interesting. Bilbo turning on his nephew Frodo. We'll see if that how that works for them. That's an interesting start. That's a pretty crazy start, to be honest. Not what I would have expected. Okay, so let's get into the second round. Check in on our tribes. Nothing seems to have changed. The alliance between Arwen and Galadriel is minor, like a small dip down in strength, but not sure it's even worth talking about. Poppy and Nori are still in a alliance, so we'll go right to the immunity challenge, and the Durin tribe wins first place, wins immunity. Makes
There
sense.
we go.
This is a strength challenge. They're like towing, pulling
That's what
stuff.
they
So,
do.
that makes tons of sense. They also win 2 tarps, so a bigger reward while they're out there on the island. Not that they really care. They're like, whatever, rain, who cares? But they have that. And the Baron tribe again wins immunity, second place. And then again, the Elrond tribe wins immunity. So they're third. So that means back-to-back times we're going to have tribal council here with the Sadok tribe, the halflings. And if Frodo does not go home, then something crazy is happening. So they're going to nominate again somebody to go to exile, and they nominate Arondir this time. So they're going with the elves every time, which is interesting. But nothing seems to be happening in terms of like, well, we know that there's an idol hidden on Exile Island, but Legolas hasn't found it, and now neither has Arondir. So we'll check back in with the tribes, and then we will go to the tribal council, I guess. All
There
right,
we
so
go.
we have Aragorn and Bronwyn having a slight bond here, and then you have Aragorn and Eowyn bonding strongly, which is going to be interesting
It makes
for
sense,
the
but it
merge.
is odd.
When the merge
It's
happens, and
real
Arwen is like,
odd.
"What are you doing?"
Yeah, I mean, Aragorn and Bronwyn are both like, yeah, we both like elves. This is weird. I
Yeah,
mean, like, people, how uncouth of us to
yeah,
not be racist.
yeah. So that definitely is what they found is what they have in common. He's like, "Oh, you're into elves too?"
Whoa!
She's like,
I didn't know
"Yeah."
there was another one of me.
So they do form an alliance with Bronwyn, Aragorn, Eowyn, and they bring in a Isildur, which who is the person left out? It's
Boromir.
Borm. Of course it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
not my boy
of course it
Boromir.
is. Of course it is. So
No.
if somebody besides Sean Bean was in the picture, then maybe he would be in the alliance. But
Yeah. If only.
okay. The Elrond tribe, nothing's happening there. Frodo and Poppy have a minor disagreement, but then they form an alliance without Nori. I don't know what that. So they kissed, they made up, I guess. So
He's
we
like,
have,
man, you got nice curly hairs on your toes,
yeah,
like me.
both of them have they all have very similar hair, to be honest. But so there's this Sadok tribe
I like
alliance.
those twigs you put in your hair and
It
your
looks great.
berries. I like your twigs and berries.
Yes, yes, always that. So you have Bilbo, Frodo, and Poppy, and Nori's not in the alliance, but we know Poppy and Nori are still in an alliance. So it's gonna make for an interesting vote. I wonder if Bilbo and Frodo will vote for Nori, and then Poppy and Nori might vote for Frodo. That could make for a wild tribal council. Okay, so Durin and Balin bond, which I mean makes sense for really any of them to bond because
Yeah,
they're all basically family. And then Gimli is resting to restore his energy. He is gonna take a moment to chill and relax.
he's better at sprinting, not the running part.
Yeah.
You know,
So let's go to tribal council with our 4 hobbits, halflings. We have Bilbo, Eleanor, Frodo, and Poppy, and there's no advantages or idols or anything like that. So we're just gonna go right to the vote. The first vote is going to be for Nori. 1 vote for Nori. The second vote is going to be for Frodo. 1 vote for Frodo. So this could be what I was talking about, where Frodo and Bilbo vote together on Nori, Poppy and Eleanor vote together on um I'm not sure which one I said first. Bilbo and Frodo vote for Nori. Eleanor and Poppy vote for Frodo. And then it's 2-2 tie, and they have to go to rocks. That would be wild. Okay, the third vote is for Nori, and then the fourth vote is for Frodo. It's a
What?
2-2 tie.
Whoa, here we
So
go. We're going to rocks.
this makes this makes Bilbo's last round vote make no sense at all.
Yeah.
So
They
because Bilbo, if they stay true and they lock in their vote, they don't change their votes on the revote, then Bilbo and Poppy are drawing rocks, and Bilbo has
Bil-
a so he have a 50-50 shot to go home off of a random vote last round when he voted off Sam for some reason. He was like
Bilbo's
jealous of
problem
Frodo's
is
connection to Sam.
and the problem is for Bilbo, no matter what he does, he's like he's the last in, first out of each alliance on the
Yeah,
Sadek tribe.
that's true.
Is his problem.
He'd be third with Frodo and Sam, or he'd be third with Poppy and Nori. So it's like, what
Yeah.
do you do? Just play the middle, I guess. But he has to, if he wants a chance. I don't know. I mean, obviously, a coin flip is a chance, but he
Yeah.
probably should flip here on Frodo, which stinks, but it'd be the best move for him. Let's see what
Mhm.
happens. So they're gonna revote. Um, it's a tie vote, so they're gonna revote. I'm just kind of going through what's the screen is telling me. First vote is for Nori. Second vote is for Frodo. So again, we're same spot. Wait a minute. I think
Holding the
that
line.
no, those in the tie there are only two votes. Those people in the tie do not revote. So only Sam and sorry, yeah, only Bilbo and Poppy voted. So that means we
And
have a
they
deadlock.
voted, yeah, they okay. So
We're
we are
going to rocks.
is this the first time we've gone to rocks in the simulations?
I think so. What is this?
Whoa, that's so
Is this the
cool.
fourth one or the fifth one? It's the fifth one because of these are
Yeah,
the actual
because the Star
Survivor
Wars ones.
player.
Yeah,
There's two Star Wars ones, MCU Survivor, like the actual
yeah.
Survivor one, and then this one. Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Whoa.
So they're gonna go to rocks. Poppy and Sam are gonna, or sorry, Poppy and Bilbo. I keep saying Sam. Poppy and Bilbo are gonna draw rocks. They're gonna go to the end for
Man,
one of their
this
alliance
could
members.
change up this team.
And
Oh,
Poppy has drawn the rock that is gonna send her out of the game. That is crazy. So basically, because of Bilbo's tomfoolery, shenanigans, him being goof,
mm-hmm.
that first vote, I don't know why he just didn't vote with Frodo and Sam.
Why
Although
didn't he
Frodo and
just use
Sam
the
didn't vote
ring to
together,
go
so I
in
don't.
there and,
Yeah,
and swap the votes? He could have just walked in there and wrote a different name.
yeah.
Wild
So
rapscallion.
so Poppy is gone. And yeah, like I said, Bilbo and Frodo voted together. So this is
Just right down the
this,
lines.
this
Yeah.
tribe's getting down to it as we get into episode 3. Only have 3 people left. The other tribes are all still full up with 5 contestants each. So um as we get into tribe swap.
There,
So
that was that. I felt like it was probably coming.
yeah, so we have 2 different groups, okay?
Two. Yeah.
So they're asked to stand on 2 blank lines. On line 1, you have Bronwyn, Durin, Eleanor, Eowyn, Frodo, Galadriel, Isildur, Toriel, and Thorin. On line 2, you have Aragorn, Arondir, Arwen, Balin, Bilbo, Boromir, Disa, Gimli, and Legolas. A lot of names. Then there are 2 captains pulled from each group randomly. Galadriel gets chosen, and
Group
Bronwyn
two.
gets
Group
chosen.
two has the trio there in it
The trio. You mean
of Aragorn, Gimli, and Legolas. All three of
group
them.
2? Yeah,
Yeah, group two. Yeah,
yeah. Aragorn.
Andy's got his girlfriend.
Yeah,
Man, Aragorn's just gonna lead that whole group.
Aragorn, Gimli, Legolas, Arwen, and Boromir.
Yeah, it's
Like
like
those 5 could just be like, yeah, see ya, Bilbo and Balin,
it's the whole
Disa.
Fellowship of the Ring crew over here.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so those captains are for the group 1 captains are Bronwyn and Galadriel. The group 2 captains are Aragorn and Bilbo. And now they're gonna do a schoolyard pick from the people in their group. And then if possible, the choice will be from a tribe not yet represented in their selected group. I'm confused as to what this means exactly. So basically these groups
If
are not the tribes just yet.
so it's saying like if possible they'll like
If they
if
can't
they
pick from their own group, they'll pick from the other person's group.
yeah it's like how in one of our in the men versus women real life of David Survivor we had
You
it
have to
like
pick a woman and
yeah
you have to pick a man. So that's what it
yeah
means. Yes. So Aragorn will have to pick somebody from that's not from the men tribe, and then Bilbo will have to pick someone not from the halfling tribe.
yeah
Okay. Okay. So group 1's going to begin, and Galadriel picks Nori, and then Bronwyn chooses Frodo. So they both choose 2 hobbits that were in their group. Group
so now
1.
there's no hobbits left.
Yeah, Bill is not in their group. There's not
Yeah,
hobbits left, but um, So then Nori has to choose. Nori chooses Galadriel, an elf, and Frodo chooses Thorin, a
No, no, no,
dwarf. Frodo
no,
chooses Thorin. What did I say? Did I
no,
say it
no, no.
backwards?
Nori picks Eowyn.
Oh, I saw Team Galadriel.
Yeah,
That's Nori chooses Eowyn, and Frodo chooses Thorin. Then, so we're just going down the line basically. Um, then you have Eowyn choosing Durin, Thorin choosing Terry, Toriel. I made her nickname
Terry,
Terry. I made her nickname Terry. Yeah. Uh, Durin
Terry.
chose Isildur. It's interesting. And then group two is going to continue. Um, so it looks like that's the whole group. I'm confused. I need to see how the tribes shake out when I'm done here. So group two, um, where'd it go? Group two, Aragorn, of course, chooses Arwen.
Makes sense.
Bilbo chooses Arondir. Um, Arwen chooses Disa, like that. Arondir chooses Balin. Disa chooses Boromir. Balin chooses Gimli. How can he do that? Maybe he can't choose anybody else. He could have picked. I'm
It
not
it said as long as you can.
if it's possible. Yes, maybe it
Yeah, if
wasn't
it's possible.
possible.
Yeah,
And then Boromir chooses Legolas. Oh, that's cute. Okay, so we have four new tribes now. 5, 4, 5, and 4. So that's what it was. So group one and two weren't the two tribes. They were just two. So
two lines of
the
people.
four
Yeah,
captains picked four tribes. Okay, so our new tribes. Okay, so all of that, naming people from different books and movies. So we have four tribes. Team Galadriel, who is the captain there. It's her, the Isildur, makes sense. Eowyn, Nori, and Durin, the Durin from Rings of Power. Then you have Team Bronwyn. She chose on her team, and her team helped choose obviously too. Frodo, Toriel, and Thorin. And then that's like the most random team I think of all
yeah,
the
by
four.
far.
Then Team Aragorn is Arwen, Boromir, Disa, and Legolas. Disa could be the easy first boot there, but the rest of them have connections for sure. And then Team Bilbo is Bilbo, Arondir, Durin, or Balin. Sorry, let's do that again. Bilbo, Arondir, Balin, and Gimli. That one could be interesting because you have those two dwarves together.
Yeah,
And now, after all that's done, each captain will randomly be paired with one other captain to form the new tribe. So basically, you're going to randomly choose. We have these four different teams now. And you're going
this
to
is
randomly
utter
get. I
chaos.
know this is nuts. So you could have Galadriel and Aragorn's teams together, or you could have Galadriel and Bronwyn's teams together. It's gonna be random, but we're gonna have two tribes at the end, not four. So we're gonna have Aragorn and Bronwyn together. So that is a group of five and a group of four, and then Bilbo and Galadriel together, which is a group of five and a group of four. So all that to say, our final tribes now. We have two tribes. We have the Baron tribe that was originally the Baron tribe. Names don't really matter now because it's all chaos in terms of the races being all mixed up, which is a good thing. If Aragorn, Arwen, Boromir, Frodo, Legolas, so five from the Fellowship of the Ring trilogy, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Then you have Disa, Bronwyn, Toriel, and Thorin. So you have those nine. Then the Durin tribe, you have Arondir, Balin, Bilbo, Durin, Eleanor, Eowyn, Galadriel, Gimli, and Isildur. Off the bat, I have a lot more faith in the Baron tribe. They have more connections, and I feel like they're going to work well together, but it
Yeah,
looks pretty fair in terms of just ability wise. Like, I mean, the Durin tribe, while they may not have as many connections, you do still have Durin, Arondir, Galadriel, Gimli, Isildur, Eowyn. Like, yes, a lot of strong people in that tribe. And both of them, well, actually, one of them has three. The problem is that one of them has two hobbits, and the other one only has one. So, like, that's like what's been shown so far is the hobbits suck at challenges.
yeah,
So
but I mean, like Bronwyn probably isn't going to be like a
no, that's
powerhouse.
true. She's not.
Yeah,
She's not for sure. And
yeah,
but so that may make up for it a little bit, but we shall see. So we're gonna check in with our tribes. We have some alliances that are left over from old tribes. They're still alive, but like they're not all in the same tribe now, so they don't really matter just yet. There's nothing new, no new connections, no new alliances. So we're gonna go to the immunity challenge, and the Baron tribe is gonna win immunity. Like I was saying, I think they're probably just a better tribe. We'll see. moving forward. But for now, they won this challenge, and they're going to send Balin to exile. Poor guy is like about 80.
He's so old.
He's super old. He's going to go to Exile Island. However, on Exile Island, he does find
Oh, here
the
we go.
hidden immunity idol. So
Way to
he's
go,
happy.
Ballin.
He's happy.
With a beard like that. I mean,
Yeah. So anything new here? Arwen and
that's where he's hiding it. It's actually just
in
in
the
his
beard.
beard.
It's
Yeah.
easy hiding spot.
Yeah, he's
Um,
actually wearing it around his neck. It's just
you just can't
it's
see it
just
because
under the beard. Yeah, because the beard.
exactly. So Arwen and Boromir have a minor disagreement that seems to have a lasting impact. We'll see if that matters, but they're not because they're not going to tribal council this round. So, and then Aragorn and Thorin bond. However, there's not an alliance yet. Maybe that's coming soon. Isildur does leave the alliance with Aragorn, Eowyn, and Bronwyn. So it's
Bold
just
choice.
Aragorn, Bronwyn, and Eowyn on that alliance. Then there's a new alliance with Frodo, Arwen, and Aragorn. And good God, if that's our final three, I will be so happy. And I will not care who wins. If
It's a
Aragorn
choice.
wins, if
It's a
Arwen
choice.
wins, if those three, Frodo, Aragorn, and Arwen are that's a great alliance. I'm rooting for that alliance. It's mom and dad and then baby boy Frodo Baggins.
That's just not my favorite, man.
No,
That's yeah.
I Arwen's like probably my favorite female in the whole franchise, and then Aragorn is come on, come on. So
Yeah.
okay, so let's get to the Durin tribe, who's going to tribal council. Galadriel's impressing the team. Eowyn and Galadriel bond, which again makes tons of sense. Two of the strongest women in all of the Tolkien verse. And Bilbo rests a little bit to restore his energy. And there's nothing really else to do other than go to tribal council. So let's go ahead and this has been a long round of play because of the tribe
Yeah.
swap. But
Episode 3 has been an hour and a half special.
yeah. So let's get to the votes and get through this round. So the first vote, first of all, there's no advantages, no idols. So first vote is going to be for Isildur. It's one vote for Isildur. Second vote is going to be for Eowyn. It's going to be one Eowyn, one Isildur with 6 votes to go. Vote 3 is Isildur, 2 Isildur, 1 Eowyn with 5 votes to go. That's going to be Isildur again, 3 for Isildur. Eowyn's the next vote, so it's 3-2 with 3 votes left. It's still gonna be either one of them. It technically could be somebody else still. Vote number 6 is Eowyn. It's 3-3 with two
Here we
votes
go.
left. It could be bad, but I think it might still be Isildur based off of the
Yeah, I'm kind
connections
of
we've
hoping it's a
seen.
Sildor.
Well, just based off the alliances we've seen so far, I feel like she has more connections, but we'll see. Vote 7 is Isildur. 1 vote left. It
Here
could be
we
tied.
go.
Last vote is Eowyn. It's a tie vote.
Oh
Holy
boy.
cow.
Here we go.
I'll be shocked
Do
if
we go to Rocks again?
I'll be shocked if they go to Rocks, right? I don't know. We'll see. So we're gonna have 6 votes, in this because Eowyn and Isildur will not vote. So the first vote is Eowyn, 1 for Eowyn. Second vote was for Eowyn. Third vote is Isildur. Fourth vote is Isildur. Okay, so it's 2-2 with 2 votes left. Fifth vote is Isildur. Sixth vote is Isildur. Okay, so one
There we go.
person flipped. One person flipped and voted out Isildur. I think that maybe what happened was Isildur was the obvious vote, but Eowyn made some stew
Oh yeah.
at the tribe
Man.
camp that day, and people were like, we have to at least scare her a little bit. We
Yeah,
had to at
that was
least like
so
make her
bad.
think she's
She needs to learn she
that stew is
can't be
so
making
bad.
some octopus bit soup.
So it looks like the group was Bilbo, Arondir, Bilbo, Arondir. Oh, this is on the re-vote. What is on the original vote? Um, Galadriel. Galadriel's the one that flipped. So she did not want to vote off, which that
Ah.
makes sense. She didn't want to vote off Isildur. They have a connection.
Yeah.
But she also has a connection with Eowyn, and so she just chose to go with Eowyn and vote off Isildur and also keep herself from going to Rocks. So makes a lot of sense. Gimli definitely is holding a grudge on Eowyn for that stew from Two Towers because he voted for
Oh yeah.
Isildur. He's like, oh, I know that was bad stuff.
It was
Um,
all I couldn't.
I couldn't.
I couldn't. No.
All
I
right,
couldn't.
let's finally get into round 4 and get things going here. So we've got anything new happening here? Nothing new happening with the Baron tribe. And then the Durin tribe, nothing new is happening except for the fact that we just need to remind ourselves that Balin has the idol and the immunity challenge is up for grabs. And again, Baron wins immunity. So that's the group of men
Sense. Really makes
with
sense.
with Aragorn, Arwen, Boromir, Frodo, Legolas, and then Bronwyn, Disa, Toriel, and Thorin. They choose Galadriel to go to Exile Island. They're choosing their leader. And I don't think we've been tracking this, but I've been forgetting to say this. But the person that goes to exile cannot vote. That's why.
Oh wow.
So
Yeah.
Balin did not vote when they voted off. Not Eowyn, but who was voted off just a minute ago? Isildur. So Balin didn't vote, but also he could not be voted for. So Galadriel will be safe from the vote. And on Exile Island, there is nothing hidden there because Balin found it. So, oh, that was a reward challenge, but the Baron tribe also wins the immunity challenge.
There you go. Makes
so,
sense.
let's check in on the tribes. Aragorn and Terry bond. Aragorn's just bonding with like everybody. Boromir
He's
has
a
a
likable
major
dude.
Boromir has a major meltdown.
Which also makes sense.
And
Sorry,
then
man.
Frodo and Thorin have a small fight, which also makes sense. Frodo's like, "You're just a greedy jerk."
He's
Uh,
like, shut up. I
Bilbo told me
want
about
my
you.
money.
There's a new
Literally
alliance.
mine.
A new alliance. Legolas and Toriel, of course, with
Yep.
Disa, which is interesting. It could be if Legolas votes with them instead of voting with Aragorn, Boromir, Arwen, Frodo, that could be interesting. But they're not
Well,
going to vote
Disa
right now, so
Disa is by far the nicest dwarf to any of the elves, like ever.
yeah. Oh,
So
for sure. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, so the Durin tribe, before they go to tribal council, we'll check in on them. And Eowyn has a major meltdown. And then to make up for it, she works hard at camp and is now tired. So she's emotionally drained and exhausted.
Now she's physically trained.
She's like, they almost voted me off. And now I'm
Ah!
freaking out and I need to work hard, but I'm tired and I'm freaking out.
Gotta go
Not
kill
a
a
good
witch
sign.
king.
Not a good sign for her. So let's get to the vote. Mullen has the idol. And oh, I forgot. This is from the time when you can play the idol after the votes. You can play the idol after the votes.
Oh
I
yeah.
forgot about that because this is like the original version of the idol. Back in the day, you could play it before or after votes were read.
What a wild time.
So yeah, very overpowered. So Ballin's not going home. First vote, Nori. Okay. I can see that. Second vote, Bilbo. Okay, so Hobbits.
Purging the weak
They're,
ones.
they're tired of
Yeah.
losing.
Yeah. That's it.
Third vote, Nori. Fourth vote, Bilbo. Fifth vote, Nori.
One
Sixth
of them's
vote,
going home.
sixth vote, Bilbo. So it's 3-3 with 2 votes left. We're getting all these tie votes.
Yeah.
All right, seventh vote, Nori, and eighth vote, Bilbo, a 4-4 tie
Oh
again.
my gosh. The
I
most
wonder,
ties I think we probably ever had.
maybe they're playing around the idol. So it's like we want one of the hobbits to go, and even if Balin decides to play the idol here and save one of them's going home. So
Yeah.
let's see if he plays the idol. He does not. So we're going to go back to a revote. And of course, Bilbo and Nori will not vote. So the first vote
I
is going
love
to
how
be
Bilbo and Nori turned on each other though, which is
so quick.
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so quick. All right, Bilbo. First vote is for Bilbo. Second vote is for Bilbo. Third vote is for Nori. Fourth vote is for Nori. Okay, so it's 2-2 with 2 votes left. Fifth vote is for Bilbo. Uh-oh. And sixth vote, and the next person voted off.
Is
Bilbo
Bilbo.
Baggins. Dang, okay. So they went with Bilbo over
He probably
Nori.
kept stealing food.
It probably doesn't really matter either one of them in terms of challenge strength. I mean, Bilbo's probably better at certain things, but Nori comes across also as being pretty like crafty,
Yeah.
pretty like with a quick-witted. So I mean, they probably both have the same strengths and the same weaknesses. So it looks like
Bilbo was
the
probably really good at riddles and puzzles
the
though.
people that were on the wrong side of the vote were Balin, Durin, and Arondir, and then Balin or Durin flipped and voted for Bilbo on the revote. So he's the one that flipped here. Okay, which that makes sense. I mean, Gimli is not
Oh yeah.
connected to
He's
Bilbo. Galadriel is
has
not
no
connected to Bilbo.
yeah.
Anyone's not connected. So the people that are not tied to him at all voted for him. which is funny because the people that are connected to that are like in the same franchise as Nori voted for Nori
Yeah.
and Arondir and Durin, the fourth, right? The fourth.
Yeah, during the fourth. Yeah.
So, okay, next episode 5, we have the Baron tribe and the Durin tribe. We're gonna get into tribe statuses. Nothing seems to have changed here. All the same alliances with them in the Durin tribe, all the same alliances there. We're going to go to a reward challenge where, of course, the Baron tribe wins and they send Balin to exile. Um, and he already has the idol, and there's nothing new hidden there. So nothing happens there. And the Baron tribe wins immunity again. We're going to have a tribe swap. There's just no way
Yeah, they're
they're just
just
too good.
purging it out. Yeah.
So let's just keep checking forward. There's nothing really to add in. Durin leaves the alliance with, Disa leaves the alliance with Legolas and Toriel, just leaving them together alone, which
Looks like she's
is,
getting ready to get replaced with Aragorn, though.
yeah, she's getting closer to Aragorn.
Yeah.
And on the Durin tribe, nothing really happens except for Gimli impressing the team. So we can kind of buy back some time and have a quick round here, get to the vote. We know Bald has the idol, he can play it after the vote. So let's see what happens with the first vote. First vote is for Balin. If he gets voted off, he can play the idol, so it won't matter. It's
Yeah.
gonna be interesting. Maybe they're trying to flesh it out. I don't know. Second vote is Balin. Third vote is Durin, so they're gonna vote off the
No.
dwarves. All right. Next vote is Balin. Durin. So it's 3 to Balin, 2 to Durin, 2 votes left. Durin, 3-3, and Balin gets voted off. I'm assuming he can play the idol here. Yeah, he plays the idol, which means Durin gets voted off. Man, that's tough. That's brutal. So we lose Durin just simply because Balin had the idol from Exile Island. John, would you have? I mean, I'm assuming you would have rather had Balin go.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I
Either way, you're
love
gonna lose
Durin, but
one of your
yeah, well,
either way,
one of my kin,
you can lose one of your
but
people. So
yeah,
um, it's interesting. Even Gimli was a part of it. He was a part
yeah,
of the vote
that's the
split.
odd part. Well, but the thing is, I mean, he actually knew Balin
Yeah.
versus knowing Durin.
So if
You
his
know,
choice was to vote for one or the other, he's definitely going to vote
yeah,
for Durin and
and
not Balin.
Balin's literally his cousin, so
Yeah. So it makes sense. It's just I'm surprised they didn't vote off Nori here. Um,
yeah,
after getting so many votes last time, I guess it's just the group that voted. I'm trying to see. I think this is the same group. So the group that voted out Balin is the same group. I think Nori, Galadriel. Um, I think it isn't the same group because Arondir and Durin voted together last time. So and not with Galadriel. Um, it's interesting. So they're kind of all over the place, but
yeah,
that's
they're
that
in a
happens
panic
sometimes.
mode.
That happens
Yeah,
sometimes in these simulations where they keep losing and they're just like throwing stuff at the wall to see what sticks. So I think we're gonna go ahead and take a quick break here, 5 votes in, and then come back and try to get pretty close to the finale maybe in the next segment. So we'll have a quick break and we'll come back with more Lord of the Rings Survivor Simulation.